The 1970s was a golden era in New Zealand racing, and it took a champion to stand out amidst illustrious company. Showgate's origins in Mosgiel were humble, but she was to fashion a record that earned her the title amongst racing fans as the Queen of the South. Showgate's breeder, owner and trainer was Gordon Thompson, whose main occupation was a chicken sexer. Thoroughbreds were a hobby, although descriptions of Thompson's stables and training methods range from unique to eccentric. Thompson was more savvy than many gave him credit for, and as a student of bloodlines, he sought members of the Eulogy family, knowing it continued to provide champions. Success came 4 generations down the Eulogy line, with the union of Minglo and Gatekeeper producing Showgate. Trained at the Old Taieri racecourse, Showgate rarely left the property before starting her racing career as a 3-year-old in 1972. She won her first race at Oamaru. Victory in the Spring Plate at Riccarton was one of 7 from her first 15 starts, and was the beginning of a special attachment with the racecourse. Showgate would enjoy an extraordinary run at New Zealand Cup carnivals, winning at 4 carnivals over various distances and often carrying the top weight. That versatility was beyond compare in '74. Showgate won the Stewards Handicap over 1,200 metres, the Canterbury Gold Cup over 2,000 metres, and the Churchill Stakes at 1,600 metres. She almost repeated this trifecta 3 times over the following years. It took another Hall of Famer in Grey Way to break the sequence. Showgate wasn't just a southern belle. She travelled north to collect trophies in the Telegraph Handicap and the Awapuni Gold Cup, earning a new army of admirers at various racecourses. The 74-75 season was capped by her selection as the Horse of the Year, being unbeaten in 6 starts. A fractured sesamoid cost Showgate her entire 6-year-old season. Instead of putting her out to stud, Thompson nursed her back to health. He was often criticised for his training methods and policy of putting on the boy that rides the work, with many believing it cost Showgate a number of stakes races. The fact that Showgate was able to return after 18 months and achieve several of her most notable victories is a testament to Thompson's judgment. Showgate ventured to the Auckland region for the first time and impressed Bob Skelton by downing the crack mare Tudor Light in the Thames Valley Stakes. The Dunedin Cup and the Timaru Cups were added to the trophy shelf in '76 in the space of 24 hours. Showgate was then set for the Wellington Cup in 1977, only to run into bad luck and an emerging champion in Good Lord. Jockey Chris Ramage, who dropped his whip in the run to the line, was convinced Showgate didn't realise Good Lord was a threat on the rail. Skelton was back in the saddle for the final day of the carnival in the Trentham Stakes. It would be the most courageous race of Showgate's career.
And Showgate now, he takes the stick to her very slightly, though she's put her head in front and starts to come away. And the great mare Showgate after second in the Cup the first day, she's won it today.
It was a record time of 2:26.25, and it was also Showgate's last race. Skelton and the champion looked a forlorn sight as they returned to scale, Showgate fracturing her sesamoid bone again to end her career. Veteran correspondents regard Showgate as all class and courage. She collected 30 wins from 51 starts with 9 placings, and she became New Zealand's first dual winner of the Horse of the Year in her final season. Visitors to Riccarton are reminded of the Queen of the South every race day. Her name stands amongst the greats of New Zealand racing, and there's also a special function room set aside for one of the enduring favourites of the turf. And if visitors look down as they approach the grandstand, they'll see the permanent tribute to the great mare. The Canterbury Jockey Club deemed Showgate's 9 wins from 14 starts at the racecourse was so significant that Riccarton should be her final resting place.